All right, ladies and gentlemen of Paref, good morning to each and every one of you. We are very, very excited to see you all once again in the JCL meeting. Before we get started, I want to make sure everyone is just as stoked as we are and everyone is so pumped up to be with us today. So if you are just as excited as we are from the organizing team, please comment JCL in the chat box. We want to see all of you firing up the comment section with your engagement. That's it, guys. That's the Paref spirit of participation and cooperation. We are so honored and so blessed to be spending this time with you. A lot of familiar faces, familiar names in the chat box here in Zoom. How we wish we could see each other right now in person. But in just a few months, we will be interacting in flesh as we usher in a new era for the JCL conference. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Burns O. Cassie from the JCL core team, and it's been my privilege to have led Paref in organizing the last two JCLs, one in 2020 and another one in 2021. Today, my dear friends, another chapter begins for JCL and Paref, and we have in our hands this very unique opportunity to bring Jesus to thousands of people around the Philippines and around the world. For us in Paref, this is another opportunity for us to do A, apostolate, B, branding, and a campaign to raise funds. Remember those ABCs of JCL that we mentioned, that we came to know in 2020? We are still doing that for 2022. At the forefront of JCL 2022, ladies and gentlemen, are our very own student leaders whose tireless dedication and creativity keep us fired up for this project. Are you also fired up for JCL? Again, keep the comments coming. If you just came into Zoom and you're very excited, please comment JCL. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you our hosts for today, JC and Bachi.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Benz, for that introduction. So, good morning and welcome to all. We are your hosts for today. I am JC Rodenas.
And I am Bachi Piensa-Naves. Before we move on to today's ceremonial launch for JCL 2022, we would like to formally begin with an opening prayer.
Paref community, let us put ourselves in the holy presence of God.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
All right, so thank you for joining us in that prayer. And to head straight into the program, we will be introducing our partner for the JCL conference, the Steubenville Conferences. So, the Steubenville Conferences offer 5 unique conference experiences to help people escape the spiritual desert and empower them to live every day as joyful disciples of Jesus Christ.
For over 40 years, the Steubenville Conferences, an outreach of Franciscan University of Steubenville, have been helping people encounter the love of Christ and grow as his disciples.
And now, to understand more about the Steubenville Conferences and their mission, let us watch this short video from them.
And now we will move on to our Jesus-Centered Life 2022 launch kickoff with these opening remarks to be said by none other than the author of the Jesus-Centered Life Guide to the Happiest Life book and the Director for Personal Formation for Paref Schools, Dr. Raul Nidoy.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to see all of you here. There are right now 125 people here, all from Paref, from all over the Philippines. Wonderful. And it's always a great feeling, just being together as one family, a family of Paref. Because, you know, we all have the same vibe, we all have the same spirit, we all have the same goals, we are interconnected in a certain way. And then this year, we have this JCL 2022. And we're called together by none other than the student leaders. So they are the ones taking the lead. this year. It's a very special way. And they are calling us to move forward as one body, as one team, and as one family. And with that goal, no, of being holy and heroic. And then, of course, we all remember the great and the wonderful panel discussions led by the student leaders the past 2 years. And of course, no, let us really applaud them for what they have done the past 2 years. No? Isn't it? Weren't those panel discussions really great? No? So let's have a round of applause for all our student leaders. So do you know how to do the reactions there for the, to click reactions and then to put the confetti perhaps, no? So let's have 3 cheers, no? 3 cheers for our student leaders. So when I say hip, hip, you click, I don't know, the confetti or the hand or whatever it is. Hip, hip. Very good. And then also, perhaps we should also cheer for the parents. Because the past years, the parents have also taken the lead. They've also organized their panel discussions. So, hip, hip. Right. It's just that I was asking Man and Burns if we could all shout out. They said, oh no, it will be chaotic if they all shout out. So they said, oh, you just click on the reactions. And then also we should cheer for the teachers. Hep, hep. Yeah. Okay, great. And also, but let's not forget the officers, the administrators, the management committee, they all supported us in this JCL. Hep, hep. Great. Okay, wonderful. So when I was preparing for this little opening remarks, so I asked Saint Jose Maria for some ideas. And you know what happened? A friend sent me this this image, which I'm now going to share with you. Here it is. See that? So it's hilarious, and I started to share it to several of my friends. And I said, is there something here that somehow heaven wants us to reflect on? And then I realized, yes. Well, the first implication that I thought of is that we are all in the same boat and we're all having fun. You know, as the book itself implies, in reality, in Paref, we are having the greatest possible happiness in the world. And that's the truth, the pure truth. And that greatest possible happiness is based on the second implication. You know, when we launched the mission statement in Southridge, we used the image of a boat. And that was the time when we had an alumnus who came from one of the Ivy League schools. And he talked to us about the rowing races that they had. And in those rowing races, they would put a little boy in front of the boat, and everybody would row according to the cadence mentioned by the little boy. So the little boy would say, 1, 2, 3, row, and then everyone rows at the same time, the same pace. 1, 2, 3, row, 1, 2, 3, row. And he was telling us that if just one of the rowers would not row according to the same pace, the boat turns. So instead of moving forward, with great speed, the boat goes backwards. So that is a great lesson for us. In fact, when we were launching the mission statement, we were referring to the North Star. So the mission statement of Paref includes that phrase, that we live according to the Christian ideal. And when we were launching that, the meaning we were talking about, we were referring to, was JCL. So that's the North Star. That is where the whole Paref boat is headed. And what we need in order for that boat to move forward with great speed and with great effectiveness is that we all work together as one. All the parents, all the teachers, all the students. So we all have representatives from these three areas of the school. And it's a wonderful thing if we are set on that great North Star that we have, and we work together this year and the coming years to fulfill that mission, clear mission that we have from heaven. So, and we do it as one team, as one body, and as one family. Maraming salamat. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and thank you to the students for taking the lead this year.
All right. So thank you so much for that, Dr. Nidoy. That was a very motivating message, sir. And guys, I think we properly need to express our appreciation for that inspiring message of Dr. Nidoy. So click the thumbs up button if you are excited. Click on the applause button if you are very excited. And click on the heart button if you can't wait for JCL 2022. So Bachi, I'm going to click the heart button right now because aside from the fact that I can't wait for JCL 2022 to happen, I also can't wait to give my heart to Jesus this coming Christmas.
Oh, that's so sweet, JC. Okay, I will join you as well. And now we would like to introduce the student heads to explain more about the JCL 2022 conference. We have Gabby Gana from Southridge and Raisa Escasa from Woodrose.
Thank you for that introduction, Bachi, and good day, everyone. I am glad to see a lot of bright and open faces over here because today is truly a monumental moment in the Paref School's history.
And that is right, Gabby. We are very happy and excited to have you all here with us today because we want to show you what to expect for this year's Jesus-Centered Life Conference. But before we jump into what this year's theme is and why we chose it, let us watch this short recap video from last year's conference.
Wow, that was so wonderful and nostalgic to watch, wasn't it, Teresa?
It really was, and I will always cherish the learnings and experiences I got from working on and attending JCL 2021 last year. Now, Gabby, can you explain to us the theme for this year and why it was chosen as such?
The Jesus-Centered Life Conference for this year will have the theme Holy and Heroic, the courage to be Catholic. We figured that this theme would fit JCL 2022 because we must all strive to be more courageous with our actions and decisions daily. If we want to truly know what it means to be a Catholic today, we should all see it that our mission is to do things for God, Jesus Christ Himself, unlocking a potential in each of our hearts that hasn't been touched upon yet.
And now for a short background on the main speaker for this event, whom we are flying in all the way from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA. John Bellew is a graduate of the Franciscan University. He is the director of the evangelization and engagement. He has been part of the Ministry of Service for over 30 years now, and 19 of those include his time as a parish youth minister. He is also a director of the Christian Outreach Office of the Franciscan University and a partner with Steubenville Conference.
Wow, I wonder what he will have to talk and offer on about during the conference itself. It seems like he will tackle quite a lot considering his amount of credentials. So let us now move on to the program for the first day of the event on December 8th of the Manila leg at the St. Paul's College Pasig Center for Excellence. There will be three separate conferences for three different groups we want to target for this year's JCL.
And these three groups are the students, educators, and parents. Firstly, the Students' Conference will happen in the morning, where the main focus will be on the idea that the youth is at the forefront of the new evangelization. Gabby and I are hoping that we can fill this conference with as many students as possible, so we can all learn how to be youthful Christians now. It doesn't matter whether you're in grade school, high school, or college, because together we are one, united in Christ.
Agreed. And we definitely are looking forward to seeing you and many of your friends there too. Transitioning to the next conference though. Secondly, we will have the Educators Conference in the afternoon of December 8th. John Ball Yu himself will talk about how teachers can bring Jesus Christ into the classroom and to the world. Our Lord's message to go and make disciples of all nations is somewhat the vocation of great educators. We hope we can get as many teachers to hear this message and to take up the challenge of preparing the next generation of Jesus-centered youth among their students.
And finally, we will have the Parents Conference at the end of the December 8th Manila leg. Our speaker, John, will talk about the family as a home, where the Holy Spirit dwells. Surely, parents will be inspired to create, as Saint Josemaria liked to say, bright and cheerful homes like that house in Nazareth.
I surely would want to invite my parents to attend that conference, Raisa. Wouldn't you too?
I definitely would, Gabby. Yes.
Excellent. So our target number of attendees for each conference is 2,500 people. So the crowd in St. Paul's Pasig will certainly be a lot.
Then on December 10, JCL 2022 will be flying over to Cebu for two big sessions at the International Eucharist Congress Pavilion, or the IEC Pavilion. Early afternoon will be a youth conference, and the late afternoon will be for parents and educators.
Yes, that's right. We will be combining the educators and parents conference into one big adult conference. For this day, on the other hand, we hope to bring together around 4,000 participants per conference. Imagine the thousands of people in the Visayas region that we can possibly bring closer to God, to our Lord, and of course, to the faith as well.
Yes, and now I'm sure everyone here would like to know why there are such big plans for JCL 2022. Care to explain, Gabby?
Well, Raisa, we have a lot of whys for JCL 2022. First of all, the church, sad to say, is in crisis. Our mother, the church, is under attack, and she needs our help. To our dear families in the audience, it deeply saddens all of us to tell you of such problems. Living in the crisis of the digital generation in this highly sexualized culture, often lacking chastity and filled with depression, even leading sometimes to suicides. The church needs us. She needs our light, especially that of our youth. That's why we, the students, must play such a big and vital part in this conference. These attacks spark in us a burning desire to do something good. And heading towards Jesus-centered life 2022, it is our mission to respond to God's calling.
And I agree. We are determined to give our best to God in this conference, which here means to do no less than spreading the good news of the faith to great multitudes. Our hope is to bring Jesus to others, impacting the lives of thousands, touching and moving sinners, for it is them who need our help more than the righteous. If God wills that something good should happen, it will happen. And we are ready to let Him make this conference happen through us. That is our reason for JCL 2022.
And to add to that, we believe this conference can bring about the conversion of souls, which is our main mission as Catholics today. All of us in the Paref community are very blessed to enjoy the character formation we have received. So all the more we must reach out to others, set our example, and show the beauty of the faith amid all these problems. It will take a lot of fortitude, courage, and strength, definitely. However, that's the way we've been formed, and that's what we must learn to value too.
And just like that, it brings us back to our theme for this year, holy and heroic, the courage to be Catholic. And as St. Catherine's quote goes, if you are what you should be, you will set the whole world ablaze. With that, I hope you all gained a better understanding of the reasons behind JCL 2022 and why it is so important to have this in this day and age and for you to participate. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raisa and Gabby, for those informative details about this year's Jesus Centered Life conference.
And moving on, as in the past two JCLs, Parousia Media of Australia will again be our partner in this year's conference. And we are so honored to have the presence today of the president of Parousia. May I call on Mr. Charbel Raish?
Hello, it's good to be here. Can you hear me? Okay. Oh, good. It's an honor to be here for the third year running. It's such a powerful event and looking forward to being there, hopefully in person this time. Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
yeah, it's okay. Okay. Yeah. You want me to say a few words on the last couple of years, or what would you like?
Yes, we would like.
I'm excited because the last 2 years, it's during the COVID lockdowns, the only way we could connect was digitally. And although we still can do that digitally, what we're doing now, I'm also excited that we can now also do face-to-face in person. And so it's been a few years since I've been to the Philippines, and I'm looking forward to being there myself to join you, but we'll be promoting it across the Australian and New Zealand region, and of course across America and around the world through our whole reach. So I just got back from America a couple of weeks ago, and they are excited for what's happening in this region. So I'm looking forward to sharing this with many of our followers and supporters. So can't wait, and I love the theme. It is a time to be courageous and not to be afraid. So yeah, thank you for doing this, and it feels like family being here. I'm in Sydney, Australia right now, and I'm looking forward, just a few months away, to be with everyone over there.
All right. So thank you for those brief remarks, Sir Charbel. And sorry. And once again, thank you for partnering with us in this JCL, this 2022.
So, since all of you have been briefed about what the event will hold and why we are holding it, we may now proceed to the how to sign up portion of today's launch.
So, tickets for the event have been made very affordable so as to enable as many people to attend. Basically, student tickets are only at 200 pesos each, and adult tickets for parents and teachers are at 300 pesos each.
However, JC, that's not all. If registration is made on or before September 30, all tickets are at an early bird rate of a whopping 50% discount. That's 100 pesos for students and 150 pesos for adults. Moreover, there are also group rates that will enable participants to get even more huge additional savings.
Wow, that's amazing news and such great deals. Paref Central Office will issue a communication giving all those exciting details, so you guys should expect them soon.
Yes, and we hope that you can spread the word and the good news of Jesus Centered Life Conference 2022.
And at this juncture, we would like to acknowledge the Student Council presidents and representatives of the different Paref schools. So I'd like to call on those representatives to turn on their cameras and maybe unmute so that people can see you.
Hi, yes, I will begin. Good morning, everyone. You saw me earlier. I am Raisa Escasa, the president of the Woodrow Student Council, and I am joined today by a few of my co-officers and other student leaders. So I'm so happy to be part of this preparation for such a big event, and this is a great opportunity for all of us. So I'd like to pass the floor on now to the Southern Student Council.
Thank you very much, Raisa. So, hello, I am Gabby Gana, the Vice Chairman of the Southridge Student Council. And I also would just like to give a special shout out to the Southridge team here today. So, aside from our Secretary, Mr. John Paul Mame, we also have our Treasurer, Dylan Umali, our SAHS member-at-large Enrique Joko, and a few other representatives, including our very host, JC Rodenas. So may I now do the honor of giving it to Bachi for the Rose Hill Student Council.
Yes, hello, I'm Bachi Piazza-Navas, the Russell Student Council President, and I would like to call on to my fellow student council members and student leaders from Rose Hill. So thank you for coming here today, and if you can like do a heart react just so that we can see you. And yes, thank you so much for coming, and we appreciate everyone here who's in this conference. And now I would like to call on Julian Reyes from Northfield.
Hi, good morning. I'm Julian Reyes. I'm the SEB president of Paref Northfield, and I would like to say thank you to all the Northfield students who attended today, from my vice president and to the Vinta captain and to the anchor captain, and so also the co-captains, and to as well as to the students. Thank you. And I pass the floor to Westbridge Student Council President.
Thank you, Julian. First off, good morning, and thank you to all of the JCL facilitators and heads, to Gabby and to Riza. Hello, everyone. My name is Paolo, and I'm the current TVP chairman of Paref Westbridge. Unfortunately, our representative, Rabbi Ting, the president of our student council, is not here. So in behalf of him, I would be representing Westbridge right now. With me today is John Sumagaysay, Justin Bautista, and Hans Palacios. So shout out to you guys. Anyways, may I call on Woodrose next?
I think you mean Southcrest, Paolo. So
Oh, sorry, Southcrest, my bad.
Hi, I'm Josie Soler. I'm the president of the Southcrest Student Council, and I would like to thank everyone, including all the Southcrest student leaders and teachers who's here in this conference.
with that, we would like to thank all the student council presidents for sharing some info and welcoming our JCL audience. Sad to say, however, our Springdale representatives still don't yet have a student council, so they'll be electing theirs by this month.
Sorry for interrupting, but we actually did get a student council this last Friday.
Oh, perfect. All right. So Enzo, would you like to give some short remarks?
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for inviting us, and for the organizers for organizing this meeting. It was a great experience. I truly learned a lot. And on behalf of the Springdale Student Council and all the student leaders, thank you guys for attending. And yeah.
Thank you very much, Enzo. Aside from that, sadly, our representatives from Paref Roseville in Cagayan cannot make it today, as they will be having their festival. However,
Gabi, I'm here.
Oh, Miggy can make it. Miggy, why don't you give some short remarks?
Hello, my name is Miguel Palanastasio. Thank you, Roseville students, if ever you are there. Thank you also, Sir Abe, for attending the meeting, and I look forward to the JCL this coming December 8th. I'm looking forward to learn more and to apply what I've learned. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miggy. Apparently, there is no fiesta today in Cagayan, so I'd like to give back the floor to Bachi and JC.
Yes, once more, thank you, Para Student Councils, for being present with us here today.
Yes, and now to top it all off, we have something exciting to show you all. So we will be unveiling the official poster for JCL 2022 in the coming days.
Yes, this wonderfully made poster will soon be launched online. Watch out for that so that you can like and share to help us spread the word. You may even post it in your own social media accounts. There are multiple ways to contribute to the successful launch of JCL 2022 online. And now for the closing remarks, we would like to give the floor to the chairman of the Paref board, Mr. Danny Moran.
Yeah, okay. So good morning, everyone. Welcome. And I want to say, of course, congratulations to all the student leaders who have packaged this launch within Paref first. And of course, we we will move on to, I would say, launch it to the entire community around the country and certainly around the world. So I obviously want to thank our guest speaker, Mr. John Beaulieu, for accepting this invitation. We certainly look forward to listening to him when he comes over to the Philippines representing Steubenville. So I think it's a great opportunity for everyone to listen to him and to engage in his talks and his discussions. So of course, I want to thank Mr. Manrentoy, who actually took that initiative to invite him over to be our guest speaker. So shout out also to Mr. Manrentoy, who is also, I guess, taking the lead and organizing all of these student leaders. Of course, I see Charbel. Thank you very much for joining us again this morning. And we certainly appreciate the last couple of years that you have been very supportive to our conference. And we certainly look forward to, if you can come over, to actually meeting you face to face. So, and of course, all the student leaders that are here today, kudos to all you guys, for taking this well-organized initiative to launch the JCL 2022. Just like everybody says, we were really stuck with the 2 years of, COVID and online remote learning, et cetera, et cetera. And I see everybody so excited to, meet up with your friends face to face, finally, in school, in sports, in activities. So I can imagine also this year really being the first year where we will have an actual on-site face-to-face JCL conference. So I'm excited for that, and I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to it. Going face to face and really attending this conference. It really does make a difference when you can really interact with each other, on a more personal basis. Not to say that the online conferences were not engaging. I'm sure they were, but I'm sure everybody's also looking forward to this next face-to-face on-site actual conference. Of course, I think we will also be streaming it also online. So those that can't actually physically be there, well, I'm sure that there are ways of catching this particular event. So, I just want to end with this short story I thought I'd share with you guys. I mean, I'm talking mainly to your, to all these student leaders who are here. Back in 2006, my family and I, we spent 7 years in the US. So we left. There were some special things that I had to attend to, and so we actually lived there. And so basically, what I did, I'm in the restaurant industry, so I put up a restaurant, and but of course, that's what I do for a living. So, but one of the things that I was invited to do was to head family enrichment in Los Angeles, because we lived in Los Angeles. And family enrichment is just like EduChild. I'm sure a lot of you know the EduChild program. So it was going on in LA some 10 years back, but for 2 years only. And somehow, because of lack of finding leadership and everything, they sort of like folded up. So they were looking for somebody to, like get family enrichment up and going in Los Angeles. And of course, the big cities in the US that family enrichment is engaged in is San Francisco, Chicago, Washington. But LA, such a big community, had none. So they really were looking to get something started there. So they asked me to if I was willing to sort of like head the family enrichment in LA. And well, since I was new there, I thought, well, this is something I think would be positive. So so I accepted it, knowing all I had in terms of experience with family enrichment was I attended the Edu Child program here in the Philippines. So it was just that's the basic course. I was not involved with the organization, the leadership. I was just a participant, and I finished the basic course. So that was the only experience I had. But they said, okay, but don't worry, we'll go over, we'll train you guys and everything, and help you guys get started. So in 2007 we actually started, and we had 4 teams in 4 different cities. In Cerritos area, that's where we lived, of course, my neighborhood. We had in Orange County, it's a little bit down south. We had in downtown LA for those that were within the city, and we had one up north in the San Fernando Valley. So we had 4 teams, and the course went on, and we completed the course and everything. And then the following year, I think people got kind of excited with the course. So more people started to participate. So the following year we had 6 teams from 6 different areas with more people attending. So things were moving well in that family enrichment development. And so after the second year, the president of Family Enrichment LA, his name is Joey Chon. He came over to LA, and he was actually moderating the last session of the course. And so at the end of the session, and said, you guys have been doing great. You've been growing and a lot of participation and everything. Would you guys be interested in hosting the next IFFD International Conference? So IFFD is the the umbrella major head of family enrichment throughout the world. And so they asked us in LA if we were willing to host a conference for this IFFD. And IFFD, they have their conference every 2 to 3 years. And then, it's distributed around the world. So, in Europe, in the US, even in Africa, they hosted the IFFD conference. But this year, they had asked the US, and the US asked us in Los Angeles. And so, we had no experience in running an international conference. So this was going to be the first time. But, since everybody was, excited with the program and everything, we decided to, okay, we'll take it, give us background and everything. So they came over, they showed us different videos of how the conferences are run in the past and everything. And so we got ourselves organized. What we did was we basically got the key families in the different cities that we had engaged with, and we brought in the entire family to attend, sort of like what you guys do, a meeting, discussing how do you host this. Of course, they gave us the speakers and the agenda and everything that came from the main office. But they said, no, but you guys have to make this exciting. So, people would, 1, want to come, and 2, enjoy the conference. So, but we'll take care of all the content, the speakers, et cetera, et cetera. You take care of the hosting. So, okay, we decided, okay, let's give it our best shot. So, what we did to invite people from all over the world was we actually invited, we actually set up tours of Los Angeles. So those who came earlier could actually tour Los Angeles, either going to Disneyland or Universal Studios or Hollywood or Beverly Hills. You know, those main places that everybody wants to go see when they're in the LA area. So we had people who actually organized something like that, no, and mostly the young people were the ones who were, you know, going to be the guides and everything, show them around, and so this was either if you come earlier, you can attend this, or after you can attend this, you know, these different tours. So we had that like a certain special, and we would package everything so that no hassles. We, you know, will take care of the transportation, etc., etc. So that was one feature that we had. The other feature that we had was we had a daycare center. So you can come over, because it was a 3-day conference, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you could bring your whole family and attend the sessions, but leave your kids with us. So we had whole day from morning to again when the conference ended, sort of like a daycare center for all ages. So and the kids, they had games, they had activities. You know, it was fun for the kids. They some were within the young kids were within the hotel, and then some were out in the fields. So, but we also organized that. And then for those who would have difficulty, because we booked the hotel, so people could book in either the hotel itself where the conference would be held, which was Sheraton, but there are also cheaper hotels nearby, so those were options. But we also had host families. So those that really had a hard time but could just come over, well, we had, I think, about 15 host families that would host these people who were, you can say, financially challenged, but they could attend. So they were within the area, and so we even had host families. And then during the conference itself, you know, like picking up the people in the airport and the whole reception, and ushering them to where the actual talks are going to be. These were all the kids. I mean, all the students, and then even up to the grade school kids, high school kids, some college kids, and it was really a family affair. So the entire family, you know, was very participative in all these events, but in each one, we made it feel special. We made the people feel like they were part of our family. It was really welcoming. And then in the evening, we had this cultural show. So, and you know, we in our family enrichment in LA, since very multicultural. So of course, a lot of Filipinos. So we had Filipino numbers, Filipino dances, and you know, of course, the tinikling and everything. And we had people join us, and you know, we even had a mariachi band, because there was also a Mexican community, we had a Hispanic community, and we had an American community. So every evening, so Friday and Saturday, there was like even a cultural affair. So for the whole family. So everybody really had fun. And you know, in the end, the closing, we even had the kids come up on stage. These were grade school kids, I think grade 3, grade 4, and they did a song and dance number, which was really entertaining. So in the end, of course, we had our closing remarks from the president of the IFFD. Her name was Marina Robin. At that time, she was the president of the IFFD conference. And she said, you know, this was the best conference I've ever attended, because the whole family participated. And even though all the discussions about families were very serious, because in fact they're very serious and straight to the point, and the discussions were very thorough. But the overall event was so enjoyable and a lot of fun. No, and because of that, it was the first time that she had participated in an IFFD conference where the families were really all involved. And she felt, you guys here, and I think maybe it's the Filipino hospitality, you guys here really know how to make us feel like a family. So it was that environment. It was the friendly nature and the fun that was put into it, despite the fact that the discussions were very serious, and a lot were heavy discussions about family and how to strengthen the family and the challenges of the family, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, the family spirit, just sort of took over, and everybody had fun, and so from that particular conference that we hosted, that was in 2009. The following year, we had 3 new states open up family enrichment in their states in the US. In family enrichment in Los Angeles started to expand even further. And after 3 years of expansion of family enrichment in LA, they decided to move the headquarters of family enrichment to LA. So now, family enrichment headquarters USA is in LA because of the participation and I would say that family spirit. So anyway, what I really wanted to say was one conference can change a lot. And it's the creativity of the young people that made this happen. I mean, we weren't thinking about all these, especially the families that brought their own kids, and the kids enjoyed themselves, and the way that the events were handled. I mean, the hosting, the reception table, the greetings, etc. I mean, down to the details. It was really handled by the students and the families, and that made a difference. Whereas when I was talking to Marina, the president, she said, no, on the previous conferences, it's all adults that manage the whole thing. It's well run. It's everything is precise, everything. But this is the first time that really I see and I feel the spirit of the family. So I think that's what we're really looking for. That I think that this is a great opportunity for the students, and I can see so many great student leaders here today, and what you can do to actually change the situation by making this conference not only serious and meaningful, but also fun and enjoyable. And I think that's what makes the difference within the conference. And this being the first, you can say, on-site, face-to-face live conference is a great display of that family spirit that Paref wants to show. So with that, I guess challenge, I just want to close and say, yes, certainly this will bring unity within Paref, but also it should also bring everyone into this conference closer as a family, but also living our life really centered on Jesus Christ. That is the center of what we want to do. And with that, I think that we know we're in the right track. So thank you very much, and I want to welcome all of you participants who are here, and wishing everyone a very meaningful and I would say successful JCL for 2022. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the long weekend.
Thank you so much, Mr. Danny Moran. Um, that was such a great story, and I really do resonate with the idea that JCL will bring us all together. So, Gabby, if we could
Thank
move
you.
on.
Moving on, and we would like again to thank Mr. Danny Moran. So if we can all give him a round of applause with the reaction. So thank you very much, sir. So now moving on, we would like to open the forum to the Paref community for any possible questions or inquiries you may have on the conference. Or Isa?
So sorry. Okay, so due to some time restrictions, we will be allotting only around 3 questions for this segment of our launch.
However, not to worry, for any questions that might be left unanswered today, you may send them to the following email address below. So I'm going to be sending it now for everyone to see. So for further clarifications, just drop them in the chat box. We will find a way to properly answer these questions in the next launches and post in case we won't be able to answer them today.
So now it is time to open the forum. If anyone would like to ask anything, please feel free to put it in the chat or raise your hand, and we'll be sure to call you one by one.
So if no one has any questions, we can proceed. But if we can all, Paref community, give some clarifications you might have on the conference. So this will better help us in the future moving forward with our official public launch and press conference. Thank you. So Raisa, I don't think anyone has any questions at the moment. I think that's very good. It's a sign that the presentation and our launch day was very clear. So that's some great news, you know.
That's true. Yeah. So again, if any of you end up having questions later on, you can still email jesuscentered@parefedu.ph for any questions or concerns, and we'll be sure to try to address these as soon as possible.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, so thank you so much, Raisa and Gabby.
And on that note, we now conclude our internal JCL 2022 launch for today.
But before formally ending, we would like to ask everyone to please turn on their cameras and smile for a quick photo op.
Oh, Baka, we can stop sharing first so that we can take the picture.
Yes.
Thank you, tech team.
All right, let's just wait for a few more people to turn on their cameras and we can take our picture. All right, if everyone is ready, I will take the picture in a count of 3, 2, 1, smile. Thank you. And next slide, please keep smiling. 3, 2, 1, smile. Thank you. And last slide, one more picture. 3, 2, 1, smile. All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you to all the student representatives from the different Paref schools, to the Mancom and teachers who are here today, and of course, to our parents. Once again, we are your hosts. I am Bachi Tiensanavas.
And I am JC Rodenas.
Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend, everyone.